Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and read what you sent. Okay, this one was kind of close, but I definitely felt kind of lost. I think I struggle a lot with my own positioning and also clone positioning during fights. Fair. I kind of panic and just put them in suboptimal positions. I also feel like I should have been doing a lot more damage, but I suppose that's also due to bad clone place positioning. I wouldn't worry about damage too much. With the invis usage, I tried to do what you said in the video and get into enemy backline to grab a support ult, but we had a mantis this game, so I didn't really know what to do either, and just used it as a panic button. So, don't worry, we'll get into the ult stuff when we reach your first ult in the match. So, let me go ahead and find you here. Hold on. Is this you on the magic?
4, 3 is your top priority.
I get the feeling you probably did. Well, I mean, there's a difference between a mistake and suboptimal play. Like, I did a couple things that game that were just not great. Okay.
4, 3,
Jesus
2,
Christ.
1.
Hold on, I want these models to load in before I start saying things. Okay, maybe they won't load in. Okay, so the first thing here, and this isn't your fault, but your Penny is playing a little too far up. Ideally, if she starts taking damage, she'll S-key, but right behind you is a corner. You should probably be there, but let's see what happens first, and then I'll get deeper into it. This is way too close up, though. And you put your clone just in the middle. I understand why, but also something that's really important in these types of games is cover. Whatever you're doing, regardless of where you are, think about where you can go. If someone, let's say a Hawkeye turns that corner right now, Hawkeye can one-shot you. What are you gonna do? Nothing, there's nowhere to go. There's a wall on your left and a wall on your right. If you played back on the corner, and suddenly a Hawkeye pops out from behind the corner, you can just step, like one step to the right and he can't see you. So just try and keep in mind looking for cover.
When will these madmen learn that reality isn't their closure? You need to stop that vehicle.
Okay, one clone off right now.
That's better.
Also, just a quick note. I'm sure I'll pause less as the game goes on, but you're playing way too close to your team. You know how your Penny was up front like 3 seconds ago? You see where your Punisher is? You want to be back here. Now, you don't want to be too far away because then you're missing all your shots, but you usually want to be a medium distance away. Because that Hulk, he could have, like, bashed your face in. So, but let's see what happens. Huh? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm for the record, I'm probably gonna laugh. Don't take any offense. I'm expecting this. I don't get to see stuff like this in my rank. But I want to rewind that. In case it was unclear, don't ignore the Iron Fist shooting your Punisher. But you probably know that, because you turned back around and were like, oh. Okay, that was just a series of unfortunate events. But the biggest part to keep in mind here, though, is that you seem to have a good idea of what you're doing wrong. And there's a difference between, like what I said earlier, there's a difference between knowing what to do and actually doing it. Okay. So I know you wanted to save your, who was it? Was it Punisher who was getting pummeled to death? I know you wanted to save him, But don't. Your team needs to regroup to cap this point. Basically, what you did was you walked out to try and save him and instantly died because you don't have a team. Right now, you all need to regroup, which I know will be a struggle because it's bronze, so nobody will want to regroup. Just let that guy die. Don't try and save him. I mean, you could try and save him, but you would have to immediately, like, deception and walk back to where your strange is, or throw a clone and snap away. For this one specifically. So, let's replay it, and I'll tell you what I would do if I was going to try and save this guy. You walk out. This guy is cooked. Look what's on the screen right now. You have somebody who's critical right here, and then you have this guy who I think was the one you tried to save after this guy died. They're dead. They are so dead. There's a Spider-Man, a Hulk. The entire enemy team is here. Like, these two are cooked. You're not going to save them. Even if the entire enemy team ignored them, you're not going to save them. So what I would do is I'd walk out. Right here in this moment, I'd go, oh fuck, the entire enemy team is there. Turn around and deception away, because I don't think they've spotted you yet. But if they do spot you and shoot you out of deception, throw a clone and snap away. Back to where you came from, like your strange is behind you. I would hang out behind your strange. So, this sequence happens. So you had the idea, like you did try to run away, you just realized way too late. And that's something that'll just get better, is you play the game more. Like, that's something that'll get drilled into you. You'll walk out, you'll see the entire enemy team and go, oh shit, I shouldn't be here, and leave. So, I wouldn't worry about that too much. But I mean, your team's doing the exact same thing you are, so this isn't like some horrible, awful thing that you did that your team isn't doing. Okay, so you'll have some setup time here unless the Spider-Man harasses you. Waiting on your team isn't bad. I would throw a clone down. Okay, nice. Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay.
Healing for my friends. That's better.
Run away. I understand why you popped your field here, because there's a Hulk, but he does like 30 or 60 damage a swing. I would try to run away first, because your shift ability is like one of the best abilities in the game, and it's on a long 25-second cooldown. So, for example, this, you may or may not be paying attention. I wouldn't blame you if you weren't. I don't pay attention half the time. But they have ults coming up, which means you're going to want your healing field for that. So, just keep that in mind. Try and run away first, and if you can't get away from them, then pop your healing field. Also, if this was someone who did like a ton of damage real quick, like a Hela or a Psylocke, it'd also be fine to drop it immediately, because Psylocks, they'll uncloak next to you and like two-shot you. So, just keep that in mind. This is where you'd want your healing field, because now he has like a bajillion HP, and he might pick someone up and smash him around on the ground, and I don't know if Jeff would be able to heal them through that. Maybe. I don't play a lot of Jeff. I don't actually know how much healing he does. So, you see, now they ult. You have no healing field for the ult. This snap is what... There's a few ways to run away. I probably would have just walked away from him, but this is also fine. You should have snapped first and then used your healing field. If you needed to. Walking away. Okay. See? I knew it! I knew he was gonna pick someone up and beat their ass.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Another place it would have been good to have your ult, but... That's not on you. They just started using ults. Because, like, if you'd popped the healing field for the Hulk ult, you wouldn't have had it for Spider-Man, so that's just unfortunate. They're just using ults. Okay, I like it. That was great. You see how he turned gold? Don't shoot him when he does that. He gets shield. And it only lasts like 0.5 seconds, so just wait for him to go out of gold, then shoot him. Also, you popped healing field already. To be fair, there were kind of players when you walked out, so I probably won't say much on this. You do have ult, so... I would be looking to grab their Mantis ult, because they use Hela ult. If you grab Mantis ult, you'll do AoE healing and you'll be able to damage boost your teammates. Or, if you drop... Well, they cap the point, but... If they hadn't have capped the point, you could have dropped your healing fields like this, and then copied Hela ult, and just sat above them and shoot them all. Yeah, but let's see how it goes. Okay, Spider-Man's beating you up. Okay. That's fine, everyone was already dead. It's kind of a given someone's gonna pick you off.
Greetings! What did I miss?
Better stop that vehicle!
I have many
Excellent.
places.
You're very quick on the reaction with the clone to the random divers. That's great. That's excellent. What you're doing there is perfect.
Thank me later.
Yeah, this is fine. Okay. That's... Obviously, I don't think you knew you were going to fall to your death there, but you could have snapped back up.
I have many faces.
That was such good timing too, right as I was like, oh, this is fine, this is great. Too close to your team. When you're walking up to your team like that, and this happens a lot with players who aren't confident in their abilities, especially their aim, they'll walk up because they're like, okay, great, I can't miss shots now. If that's a concern for you, I would recommend messing with your sensitivity in the practice range, try and figure out what works. But look at that Hulk. He could just turn around and start beating you. And you do have deception, so you could throw a clone and... Well, you don't have your snap up, so he could just beat you. He could just turn around right now and beat you up. But you do seem to be getting the memo. It does look like you're backing up. I get the panic, though. That happens to me, too, sometimes, where I panic. I'm like, oh, come here, come here.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
The shift isn't up.
Time to vanish.
I wasn't paying attention when you used it last, so... But this is fine. The Spider-Man ulted after his entire team died. No, there's a health pack somewhere here. I don't know where it is. It might be to the left. Maybe stand in front of your Jeff. But there's no reason to use the shift here. I know you were low, but this isn't saving anybody. I would be looking to shift and do Hela ult or copy their Mantis. Right now would be a great time to copy their Mantis. Oh my god! Perfect! Make sure you're damage boosting someone. Yeah, this is fine. This is perfect. Again, in this situation, stare at your health bar and look how fast it's going down. I'm pretty sure you were full or near full health when you dropped your shift. Just start running away, and if they keep shooting you, which it's bronze, so 50-50. If you keep losing health and you get like sub 50% health, or again, if it's someone who could like two-shot you like Hela, then drop your field. But this guy, he's gonna take ages to beat you up. Sit there, shoot at him, and then drop your field. And this is dual purpose. Obviously, you want to conserve your field for when you need it, but also, if you get him to critical HP, right, and he gets you to critical HP and you drop your field, he's just gonna keel over and die, because he's committed to trying to kill you because he thinks you're going to die. Whereas if you dropped your field right here, this guy, if he was smart, he would walk away. Because he's not gonna kill you through this. Never. You can't kill through field. Let's see. Okay, he runs away. You kill him. Excellent. No field for Hella ult. Which is fine. The field, she can break the field, but it will give your team a couple seconds. I don't know if you shot at her, but try and shoot her at her if you can, especially if you're next to a wall where you can run away if she shoots you. Again, using the field earlier than you need it. Eskeen, very good. You're definitely, generally you're just playing a little too close. So no field for him. Oh no, Jeff!
Dare to lay hands on me?
By the way, your clone placement could be better, but a lot of times you're walking into like ongoing fights or there's a diver in the back, so you're throwing your clone down on top of them and beating them. So I haven't been focusing on that much because you kind of just have these moments where it's like, okay, we need a clone down, place it wherever you can. But obviously there are more optimal places. But it hasn't been like completely awful. Oh, just for her to fly away. I wouldn't fault you for that. I might have let her die though, to be honest. You see how you keep getting caught out without your abilities? Every time the Spider-Man fights you, you don't have any of your abilities up. Make sure you're trying to cycle them. Because it's very rare that someone pounces on me and I have no abilities. It happens sometimes, there's a lot going on here, but you shouldn't be dying to the Spider-Man that much. So you have ult.
I always don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Okay. That Spider-Man just got a crazy ult.
Time to switch things up.
Well, like, you're using your abilities in relatively close succession. Like, you see how all of them are up? Like, every time that Spider-Man waddles up to you, you have nothing to deal with him. So, like, for example, let's say, I don't know, you use your shift a lot, right? There's a lot of times you probably should have your shift up, but you used it earlier. Like on that Scarlet Witch. I won't fault you too much for wanting to save her, but I probably wouldn't have done that. Or maybe I would have, but she's just gonna fly away, and if she doesn't fly away, oh well, she died. You have something to keep in mind is as you're coming back into this fight, you're going to want that ability up for your tanks. Like, you could save the Scarlet Witch, but Scarlet Witch, she's not that good. She doesn't do any burst damage unless you want to counter ult, which takes like 3 billion light years to actually activate, so she's just not worth saving. Just shoot at her, and if she lives, she lives. If they burst her down, oh well. So, like, I feel like I probably didn't explain that. Like, you don't want to use your deception and your shift at the same time unless you have to, right? So a lot of times when someone dives me, I'll try and use my deception first to walk away, because it works a lot of the time. And then, if that doesn't work, then I'll use my well, I'd probably snap away first. But if for some reason I can't do that, it's like a Psylocke or something, then I'll use my shift. So what that means is generally you'll have like one ability up at all times, right? Because let's say you just use deception. Well, say your deception's on like a 3-second cooldown now and someone dives you. Now you can press your shift to save yourself. Okay, you save yourself and then someone comes back to dive you again. Your shift's on cooldown, but guess what? Deception's back up. I hope that explains it more clearly. I'm sorry I'm not doing the best job explaining that.
This is war.
The battle starts
We
in
keep
5,
fighting until we
4,
can't fight
Okay,
anymore.
let's see what happens
2,
here.
1.
Render me
That one hurts.
Oh, I'm not on you. There we go.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
I would throw an aggressive clone down. Probably like right here. This wall is breakable, but throw it down and shoot them as they're running away. You could also throw a clone on the spider vehicle if you wanted, just because it'll move the clone, but I would go ahead and throw both of your clones down. What was wait, hold on. I'm sorry, I keep missing the shift because it gets used a little more than I do. Hold on. Sorry, I'm fumbling. Did you save somebody with this? Somebody almost died right out the spawn gate. Oh, I mean, you probably noticed, but there was no reason to use your shift there. You see what I mean with the abilities? Every time someone dives you, I'm like, cool, we're gonna use shift or do this. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to be nice, right? If I sit here and I go, this is garbage, how dare you do that? Like, that's not gonna help you. But yeah, you didn't save anyone with the shift there. There wasn't really any reason to use it. And if you were super worried about, say, the Scarlet Witch dying, throw down your second clone before you use your shift. Also, in a side note, it's not necessarily bad to try and save squishies with your shift. I do it all the time. But in a lot of cases, when you have to throw a clone at them, if they're already critical, they're probably gonna die anyway. So you can throw the clone at them, but be hesitant to use the shift. Because they're probably just gonna die. Okay. It was a good snap. I probably would have snapped to the clone that was further away, but you were trying to run away from him. That was fine. I don't know if you had a clone up, but throwing a clone at your spawn and snapping to that one also would have worked. But you were already pretty low. No. Don't use your snap there. You didn't accomplish anything. You could literally sit in your spawn door and heal this guy who's about to die. And you also used your shift. Nah, just let the single guy who's walking around out here die. See how you're right in front of your spawn doors? There is literally no point in saving anybody unless your entire team was here and you all were in the midst of a fight. Saving this guy, which didn't even happen, he died anyway from the looks of it. Which isn't your fault. He's clearly panicking, so he didn't even notice you were trying to save him. This wouldn't accomplish anything. Now, if they're smart, they just walk into you and kill you. But instead, their Adam's just standing there and dies. Shoot the Spider-Man. He's going to come for you. Like, your team is okay right now. Obviously, try and keep an eye on them, but go shoot at the Spider-Man. I wouldn't chase after him, because he'll just swing away. But sit there and shoot at him with your clones, because... Harass him! Don't let him harass you. You kinda do it, but... I would have been all over that guy. Turn around and shoot him. Okay. This is fine. Throw a clone at them and... I mean, you don't have to there, but... Once your team is winning the fight, you can start throwing clones in to get more aggressive damage. But there's also nothing wrong with not doing that and just healing your team. Like, this is completely fine. Okay, yeah, you threw a clone out. This is fine, because your team's gonna be pushing up. No. Always try and run away first. Because, like, that guy shot you, but he's walking up the stairs. You have your deception up. Deception and walk away. Now, I know this Iron Fist just showed up, and he's probably gonna start beating your ass. But try and run away first. It's worth it, because the shift is so strong, and they have ults coming up. But anyways, we'll see what happens.
Your powers are mine!
I am ready
Okay.
to put on a show.
Yeah, this is fine. This is perfectly fine.
That's what I needed.
Life and destiny.
I'd be damage boosting when they're full, because it's like a wild damage boost. It's like 40%, but there's nothing like inherently wrong with healing them. Shoot the Hulk. Did he die? Yeah, shoot that guy. If you're gonna throw a healing field down like you did right there, someone might have been low. I wasn't paying attention to that. I got sidetracked by the Hulk. Throw the healing field down. They're all standing there. Unless they're stupid and walk out of the field, nothing's going to kill them. So turn around and start, like, beating up the Spider-Man and Hulk. Because healing field is a great time to make aggressive plays, especially in a situation like this, where, I mean, you had a couple people die, but you did have advantage, and their Hulk is basically down.
We are
Okay.
undefeatable! This is just one of your tricks, right, Loki?
That was fine. The only thing I would have done was the second I grabbed the health pack, I would have thrown a clone or snapped back to that clone, but you were probably dead there regardless. It's just if you immediately turned around and snapped to the clone, you could get a couple shots in on the Iron Fist before he'd beat you up again. But again, you were probably dead there. Your team lost that fight.
Greetings.
Oh, I said they lost that fight. You lost that fight. There's still a little scuffle going on.
Onward. The Weaver awaits.
Hey.
I outnumber you.
Run away. Run away. Run away. Where's your sense of fear? Again! Again! Oh, okay. Well, now you're fine because your Luna's ulting. The second I turned the corner and saw that one guy, I would have ran. The second that Bucky popped his ult, I would have been gone. You have no clones. Run away.
Systems restoring.
They are in
Well,
front of us.
okay, somehow they can't kill your Bucky on the point. He was full health. He was full health. There was no reason to drop the healing field. Obviously, you should watch him because if these guys could aim, he wouldn't be full health, but don't drop the healing field when they're full health. This is dual purpose. A, he's not getting very much healing. They might shoot at him, and he might get some healing from it, but if he's already critical, you know he's gonna get healing. Second, if he is critical, the enemy team in many scenarios will double down on trying to kill him, so they'll use all their abilities on him, and if you pop the healing field, all of those abilities, all of the damage they did, null. He'll be healed up back to full in like 2 seconds. So, just stuff to keep in mind.
I outnumber you.
Sorry, I could not save you.
For the record, your clone placement isn't horrendous. If you wanted, you could put them, like, on the high ground over here, or over here. I would focus a lot on placing them where the enemy team won't shoot them, so, like, you could place it up here, and it'll heal your team within this entire range. But this isn't horrendous. It's not like you're just placing them in the enemy team and waiting for them to die. However, I've noticed that they do get broken a lot as your team backs up, so just something to keep in mind. If you put them up here, it'll probably take longer for the enemy team to break them. Because you saw it happen with your first clone. Your Captain America died or whatever, and then they immediately broke your clone. If your clone was up here, or up here, they honestly, in bronze, they probably wouldn't have even seen it. In higher ranks, eventually they'd see it and they go and shoot it. But, you'd get a little more time out of it. Because I noticed a lot of the times you're very low on clones, so not horrendous placement. You're placing them to heal your team, and I assume because it's bronze, a lot of the people aren't shooting them until your team has already died, so just stuff to keep in mind.
Down to 30 seconds.
Uh-oh. Run. Run away. Okay, this also works.
On the show. Enemy better beware. That one hurts.
I'm hulking forward again.
I won't lie. It isn't inherently wrong to copy the support to save your team, but it was just their Iron Fist. Like, it was just the Iron Fist and maybe some poke damage from the cart. I probably would have Deception, and you could walk this way. I would have walked behind you towards your spawn, and I would have sat there and just healed my team, because the Iron Fist probably isn't going to kill anybody. That being said, there's nothing inherently wrong with saving your team, and an ult for an ult isn't that bad. Let's see what happens.
You are restored. Get in there. I am a true team player.
That's rough. Oh, deception can be great, but it's also... It is valuable, but I also am very willing to use it because it can also be not valuable. Let me explain. So, when people are diving you, you're instantly dropping healing field, even if they haven't hit you yet. I would deception and walk away. So they might shoot you out of deception, in which case, if you get in a little scuffle and you get low, you can drop healing field. But if they don't shoot you out of deception, you just leave. So like it's good. Like you can just walk away from people who are trying to fight you. But also if they shoot you out of it, oh well, at least you tried. Because if you think about it, if you can escape from someone using deception or healing field, which would you rather use? Deception. Every day of the week. It just makes you go invisible and you'll walk away. So if you can get away from them with deception first, do that. And then if it doesn't work out, you can healing field or you can snap away. Generally, I would probably try and snap away first, but in some cases that isn't possible. Again, like if someone's trying to two-tap you like a Psylocke or a Hela. Yeah. And so just stuff to keep in mind. So generally speaking, just to give you an overview, you use your healing field way too early, sometimes when it isn't needed at all, and very frequently, which is kind of a result of the first two. So just be a little more aware when you need to use the healing field, because if you use it when you don't need to, you're missing out on value. And then your positioning, a little too close to the team, stand a little further back. Something that's really nice about Loki is, especially when they're walking through a corridor like that on the first point, if you sit in the back, hold on, let me show you what I mean. Where are we? Walk back here. You know what? How do I free cam? Okay. Oh, I don't like that it pauses over that. How do I use free cam? So, I would stand here at this corner, or you could stand over here if you really wanted. I'd probably just stand at this corner. Obviously, you are going to have to stand up here while your team is pushed up way like that. You have no control of that. But I'd stand back here. If someone shoots at you, you can hide behind this wall. And most importantly, you could throw a clone up here, and then a little more in the front here on top of this building. And you can sit there and you can just spam this corridor. And if anybody wants to come and hurt you, they're gonna have to do like some weird flank route and come behind here. So, yeah, simple stuff like that. Just keep your positioning in mind. I don't see any reason why you couldn't rank up with a little better usage on the healing field. Honestly, while positioning is important, I didn't even pay attention to my positioning until I hit plat, so just keep in mind, overall, try and save your team with healing field or yourself, but only when you absolutely have to. Do you have any questions? I mean, if they're up, that's a bonus, but no. Specifically, you want to use healing field to save yourself or to save a teammate. If you can get all of your clones to drop healing field, that's great, because there are more runes to break. But because healing field is like a last resort ability, that's usually not the case. Usually your Venom or your Hulk has like dove into the enemy team and they're about to die, so you throw a clone at them and pop healing field real quick. Or if someone's diving you and they're like about to kill you, you're hitting the healing field button. In a lot of those scenarios, you just don't have time to make sure all of your clones are up and ready to go. But if you're anticipating it, right? Like if you think a Psylocke is about to like walk up to you and ult, sure, you can throw your clones down and get ready, but most of the time, your healing field is a bailout ability. Like, oh shit, something has gone horribly, horribly wrong, and everyone's going to die. I gotta save them. So you throw a clone out, healing field up. So, like, hold on, let me see if I can find a spot. So, like, you have it up, right? So if you wanted to save this guy in the bottom left, because this guy right here on the right, you can try and heal him, and obviously you can shoot and press your buttons at the same time. That guy in the bottom left, if you wanted to save him, you throw that clone out and hit your shift button, and it'll pop up a healing field to save him. Would I do that in this scenario? No, probably not, but it's to save people, whether that be yourself or your teammates. So you're looking for people. Who's gonna die? That guy's gonna die and it's gonna lose us the fight. Okay, I'll throw a clone at him and heal him. Those are the two biggest ways it gets used. You see somebody who is far away and you're not able to heal them fast enough to get them out from crit, throw a clone at them, pop healing field. And in this specific scenario, if you wanted to save him, throw the clone out, pop healing field, walk backwards while shooting at him in the Iron Fist that's fighting him, and expect him to die. So I would probably walk back towards your Strange, watching that guy, then he dies, and then, because you're walking backwards, you could probably just walk behind the wall, or if need be, you could Deception and leave. Again, not what I would do here, but that's what Healing Field is for. Somebody needs to be saved right now in this moment. Cool. Do you have any more questions? Does anything need cleared up? Okay, cool. Hey there, future Felix. I've never done any sort of coaching before, so I wasn't sure how this would go, but Gumi reached out to me on Discord and asked about it, and I figured, they're bronze. They can't get worse, can they? And it looks like it worked out well for them, because they just updated me as I was editing this video, and they've already reached gold. So, big congratulations, because that's a massive leap. Anyways, if you all like this video or would like to see more, feel free to subscribe. If you have any questions, you can catch me live on Twitch, or you can leave a comment below. Thanks for viewing.